RGC Podcast.
One of the things we need to do a better job of is reading food labels.
Okay.
We don't read food labels enough.
Yes.
They're behind the package of food that you're buying, but one, we don't understand what is the food label. And the other thing is we don't understand some of the items that are listed in the ingredients part of the food label.
Hey, Rio Grande City. My name is Melinda, and I'm here with my co-host,
Valeria.
And this is the lunch break.
We're back from the break.
No break. We're not back.
Oh, okay.
We haven't gone yet.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'm not going to say anything, okay? I'm just going to...
What time is it? Okay, we're good.
Okay.
We'll get through this.
Get into this again.
Again? Okay. Hey, Rio Grande City. This is Melinda, and I'm here with my co-host,
Valeria.
and this is the lunch break. So, Valeria, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm really glad that you're back with us. I know you went on vacay.
Yes.
But I'm so happy you're back. You're my emotional support system and my work confidant. So,
you're making me blush.
no, yes, we couldn't do. I just want to let our listeners know that we wouldn't have this podcast if it wasn't for Mrs. Melinda Gomez. So a big shout out to you, because all of this is possible through all your hard work and efforts. And I just show up here sometimes. So, but I have a great time. And yes, just had to make that clear.
Okay. Well, I have a great time with you here.
Oh.
It's always fun. We're always laughing behind the
Yes.
scenes. I guess maybe next time we'll show you a little behind the scenes.
Ooh, yes.
Yes, we'll get that up for our listeners.
Coming soon.
Coming soon, yes. I was out on vacation. Actually, it was more of a staycation. So, but those were always great.
That's great. Yeah.
I think I got a little bit too used to taking naps in the afternoon because I know I was struggling yesterday that I came back like right after lunch. I was kind of like,
Ooh, that after lunch when the food is digesting and it's just
it's kind of like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have been doing that all week. I was just like,
well, it's good because you got out of your routine. It's just getting back into it.
yeah. So we're here back at the podcast. So we have some upcoming events, and I'm gonna have Valeria kick them off. So go ahead.
So, our upcoming events unlock the potential of artificial intelligence to transform your social media marketing. Join the UTRGV Small Business Development Center on Thursday, March 20th at 2 p.m. for an insightful webinar where they'll explore the pivotal role of AI in modern marketing. Learn the key concepts and discover how AI is reshaping the landscape of social media with powerful tools and technology. Session highlights understand AI in social media marketing, benefits of using AI in small business marketing, practical applications of AI in social media. And this Q&A will be presented by Patty Rojas with Monarch International Designs. So visit www.utrgv.edu/SBDC for more information to register.
Okay. Next up, from the Rio Grande City Main Street, step back in time and explore the rich history of Starr County on the Starr County Heritage Tour this Thursday, March 20th at 9 a.m. Hop on the charming Bessie trolley and journey through the historic streets of Rio Grande City before heading to the picturesque town of Roma. Along the way, you'll discover fascinating landmarks, stunning architecture, and the deep cultural heritage that makes our region unique. For more information, call Yandere de la Cruz at 956-488-0047.
And going back to Main Street, this Saturday, join the Rio Grande City Main Street for their spring downtown market. Get ready for a fun-filled evening of shopping, food, and live in historic downtown Rio Grande City. Explore unique handmade crafts, boutique clothing, and one-of-a-kind gifts from amazing local vendors. Savor mouth-watering food from local favorites and refreshing drinks to keep you cool. And enjoy performances from talented local artists while you shop and stroll through downtown. Bring the whole family for a great time at the Spring Downtown Market, Saturday, March 22nd from 6 to 10 p.m. in downtown Rio Grande City.
The city of Rio Grande City wants to let everyone know of the traffic pattern change between Northeast Street between 1st and 2nd Streets will be converted from one-way to two-way traffic effective March 26, 2025. Work will start on March 12th and is expected to be completed by March 26. During this period, motorists may experience temporary lane closures or detours. In addition, a new stop sign will be installed on Northeast Street and Main Street and will become effective on March 26, 2025. Please exercise caution when traveling on this section of Northeast Street, observing all new traffic signs and road markings. Be especially alert for vehicles traveling in the newly established direction. For questions and concerns, please contact Hector Barrera, Public Works Director, at 956-488-8382.
Alrighty, and get ready for the ultimate color rain dash on March 28th at the Basilio Villarreal Municipal Park. Join us for a day of fun, fitness, and vibrant colors at the Color Rain Dash. Whether you're running, walking, or just there for excitement, this is an event for you that you don't want to miss. Calling all vendors. We're looking for amazing local businesses, food trucks to be part of this colorful experience. If you want to showcase your products or services to an energetic crowd, this is your chance. Call 956-487-0672 to learn more. I'm personally very excited for this event, so I can't wait. I'm going to be
fun.
Yeah.
Mark your calendars and bring your baskets for the Rio Grande City Easter at the Park. Join us for a fun-filled Easter celebration at the park. Get ready for an exciting morning with family-friendly activities, an Easter egg hunt, and plenty of springtime fun. That will be Saturday, April 12th from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. at the Basilio Villarreal Municipal Park. Don't miss out on this extra special event.
Ooh, I wonder who's going to find the golden egg.
All right.
Stay tuned. So, the Rio Grande City Fire Department wants to remind everyone that a fire weather watch is in effect.
So, wait, what is a fire weather watch?
A fire weather watch is an alert the National Weather Service issued to inform the public and emergency responders that critical fire weather conditions may develop and serves as an early warning for potential wildfires due to a combination of factors like strong winds, low humidity, warm temperatures, and dry vegetation. Fire weather watches are issued before a red flag warning, which means conditions are imminent or occurring. If a fire weather watch is in effect, people should prepare for the possible fire restrictions and take precaution to prevent accidental wildfires. Some of the ways to prevent fires are properly discard cigarettes, keep vehicles off of dry grass, avoid activities with open flames or sparks, avoid power equipment that creates sparks, obey burn bans, evacuate if fire smoke is heading your way, evacuate if ordered to do so by local officials.
Oh, that's very important to know, especially the obey burn bans. I mean, there's a reason why they're put in place. So,
we're trying to avoid any, issues.
So we want everybody to be safe out there and follow these suggestions.
Mm-hmm. They're not put out just for fun. We do it for the well-being of our community and for our city. So,
The Rio Grande City Public Utilities Department wants to remind us to continue with water conservation efforts. Some of the water saving tips that we can do are shorten your shower time. Aim for shorter showers to minimize water usage. Consider installing a shower timer or using a water efficient shower head to help reduce water use. Turn the tap off. When brushing your teeth or washing your face, turn the tap off instead of letting it run. And you can also apply this for hand washing dishes. Do full loads of laundry and dishes. So, like instead of like doing little loads here and there.
Wait, Melinda, are you
What?
telling me to mix my whites with my reds?
No, do not mix your reds. But wait until you get a full load of whites and then your full load of reds separately.
Yes.
Try to run full loads of laundry and dishes to conserve water as well as energy. This minimizes the number of cycles needed, reducing overall household resource use. So you're saving electricity and water.
Yes.
So when you do it all at one time.
We love savings.
Yes. Fix leaks. Leaky faucets, toilets, and pipes can waste hundreds of gallons of water each month. So regularly check your house inside and out for leaks and promptly repair them to prevent water wastage. So that's all we got today, or at least for this week. We have quite a bit of activity going on.
Yeah.
And
they don't call it March Madness for nothing.
Right, exactly, right? Especially it seems to get madder and madder at the end. We get to the end of the month, or busier and busier.
It is. I can't believe that we're almost done with March. That was very fast.
Right? Yeah. So spring break just came and went, and here we go again. Yes. All right. So next up, our guest is Moises Arjona from
Unidos Contra La Diabetes.
And he is here to tell us more about his organization and what we can do to combat diabetes. This episode of Lunch Break was brought to you by the City of Rio Grande City and the Rio Grande City EDC. Thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed today's show, leave a rating and a review. We would love to hear from you.
Hello, and we're back from the break. My name is Valeria, and I am here with Melinda.
Hello.
And we are here with Moises Arjona.
Hello.
Mr. Arjona, would you like to introduce yourself? And thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you both for having me. I really appreciate it. My name is Moises Arjona. I am the Collective Impact Director for Unidos Contra La Diabetes of the Rio Grande Valley.
Awesome, and welcome to our podcast.
Thank you for having me.
So we have Mr. Arjona over here. Moses will be telling us more about his organization, Unidos Contra La Diabetes, correct?
Correct.
Go ahead and tell us about your organization.
Sure. So we're an organization, a collective impact initiative in the Rio Grande Valley working to reduce type 2 diabetes and bring awareness to type 2 diabetes. So in the Rio Grande Valley, so before I get started with that, we are a collective impact initiative. So we work with partners in the community who are doing the work about, treating diabetes, making sure that people are aware of diabetes. So we're the collective impact backbone. We are the organization that creates the resources, does outcasts and interviews such as this one. We're the ones that are out there advocating and promoting for it.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful.
So, yeah, so that's our role. On top of that, we also try to go ahead and facilitate health events, health awareness, and do a lot of social media content to make people think about diabetes and how we can prevent diabetes.
Okay. Awesome. What role, and you're here talking about, the outreach and everything. So what role does education play in diabetes prevention?
Oh, wow. So this is a great thing. We have to do a lot of education, and we've been working with some of the schools. We've been working with parents. One of the things we need to do a better job of is reading food labels.
Okay.
We don't read food labels enough.
Yes.
They're behind the package of food that you're buying, but one, we don't understand what is the food label. And the other thing is we don't understand some of the items that are listed in the ingredients part of the food labels. Mm-hmm. But one of the things that we've been trying to do a lot of education on is added sugars.
Okay.
So do you have food that already has sugar in it? but a lot of the foods that we eat have added sugar. Do you know that spices have sugar?
No, I
No.
didn't know that.
Yeah. So sometimes you're like, oh, I'm gonna have some seasoning with my steak or chicken.
You're talking about like the
pre-seasoned.
the ones that are combination of all this
Exactly.
stuff. Okay.
Oh.
Exactly.
Wait, so then my lemon pepper seasoning does or doesn't have
Look at
sugar?
depends on the brand that
Oh,
you're buying.
goodness.
Look at the bag, and it has
Yeah.
sugar in it.
I
Okay.
am triggered.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, because here you are trying to reduce your sugar intake, or and you're seasoning your food, and there's sugar in it.
Yeah, because I mean, I just want flavor in my food, not
Yeah.
necessarily like here I am thinking I'm just putting pepper and like
my lemon pepper, yes.
pepper, and then all of a sudden it's like bam, sugar.
Yeah.
I was just taking into account the sodium, but now that I'm aware of that, I am like a little more concerned, and maybe I'm not going to season my chicken as heavily as I did yesterday.
Well, because we're people who like savory foods, right?
Yeah.
We like to taste food. We want our food to taste good, and
Sabor.
yes, isn't if it looks good, isn't it taste good?
Yeah.
But sometimes we don't realize what is actually the ingredients that are in the products that we're using every day.
Okay, so word to the wise: check the label.
Check the food label, read the food label. And this, we've been doing work with kids, right? And talking to them about food labels. And kids are really astute and they're really smart and they understand. So, sir, you all are telling us not to eat this food here, which is a bag of chips, by the way, like a Frito-Lay's bag of chip or another Doritos or anything like that. But you gave it to us to eat at lunch. And I'm like, okay. So you did listen.
Yeah.
You are listening to the message.
You should just tell them it was a quiz and y'all passed.
And y'all passed. Yeah.
Good job.
Good job. So again, they're learning, they're sponges, they understand that. And the whole goal is for them to go back and talk to mom and dad, because mom and dad are the ones that have the purchasing power, and say, Mom, today we learned this, or Dad, we learned this, right? So again, it's just, making those conscious efforts about trying to change the whole family and be inclusive, taking that 2-generation approach about making sure that everybody's inclusive of what they're doing.
Okay, so then that would also be like how the community can get involved. It's just
Exactly.
okay.
And when a great thing about the community, again, I have enough because we are a big family, right? We're small, regardless of where you're at in the Rio Grande Valley. We're a family, and when we have community events, we always look at our seniors with so much respect, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what's the first thing that we do at the quinceañeras or the weddings or whatever? Grandma and Grandpa get the biggest piece of cake first. Unfortunately, Grandma and Grandpa might be diabetic.
Yeah.
I am very guilty of that.
Yeah.
I would like on the weekends go with my family, and every Sunday morning this big old box of pan dulce for Abuela to make her happy.
Yeah.
Make her extra happy, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're helping.
Right. And if you're like me, and I usually start off by saying, hi, my name is Moses and I'm a sugar addict, and everybody's like freaks out like, no, how many other sugar addicts do we have in the room?
I'm a sugar addict
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. We like
On
sugar.
occasion, yes.
I can't control myself. So if you put pan dulce, pan de polvo
Uh-huh.
in front of me, I can't stop myself.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just eating it.
No. I had heard that sugar has the same effect on the brain as cocaine.
Yeah. Yeah.
It has the same effect on the brain.
Yes.
And that's why it's so addicting.
It's
Shell shocked.
Right?
Yeah, it is. Some people can't go without it. And I as I mentioned before we started going, I'm a bariatric patient, so I watch what I eat, I watch what I drink, because sometimes there's just so much sugars in food that we're eating and drinking.
Mm-hmm.
On that thought, I want to ask, given your experience in this field against diabetes, I want to know, where is the fine line between watching what you eat and stressing about what you eat?
Well, you know what? It's really hard because if I tell you, I want all your listeners right now to close their eyes, and I'm going to say a word, and you tell me how that word makes you feel. Diet. How does that word make you feel?
It makes me feel dread.
Dread.
like here we go, like we have to, prep and plan, and I have to pick up this whole new routine and these whole new set of habits, and I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, restricted, right?
Mhm.
It's ugly. So we try not to stress people about not eating. We tell them eat healthy portions, eat, and we try to not even use the word diet at all. And we ask them, how would we do that? Because we don't want you to stress about not eating healthy or overeating. Because the moment I tell you cannot have that Snickers, you're going to have that Snickers. You're going to eat 2 Snickers just because I told you not to. So we want to be very careful, right? And the deal is sometimes you go to, like, we go to a party or we go to a friend's house and they prepared a beautiful meal, but what if you can't have everything in that meal? You don't feel bad, so you're still going to stress over it and you're going to eat it. And so it's really fine line. We all have our food traumas, if you will. We all have been traumatized in one way about food. We were not always born with a silver spoon in our mouths. Our parents had to. I cannot eat fideo anymore. Oh my God! When we were growing up, fideo con papa con fideo.
I love it. That's my favorite comfort
Oh my
food.
God! I cannot have it anymore. I have food trauma with fideo.
That's my comfort food. If it's been a long day, I mean, I want my mom to make a fideo con
sopita,
carnita.
right? Yeah. There you go. Right. So now I can sympathize with maybe you can sympathize with what food trauma was for me because that's all we had. But we put that fine line of stress over something, and we have to be careful of what the carbs we're eating too, right? So
Okay.
Are there, so going back to, I'm glad you brought up fideo and the different connotations it might have for someone versus me. But are there cultural or social economic factors that make diabetes prevention especially important?
that's a pretty loaded question. So I think we need to look at our culture. First, let's look at the culture. Our culture is a beautiful culture. We are very family oriented, and we don't have financial resources to express ourselves that way. But what we do have is a way to express ourselves with food. We love food. Someone dies, here's some food. Someone's getting married, here's some food. Someone's birthday, here's some food. Just because, here's some food. Let's just do that. That's something that's readily available to all of us. So that's part of our culture. We express our love through food.
Okay.
Very rich food. And you can't say no to it.
No, that's true. I'm just like,
yeah. So it's one of those parts where we have to understand that cultural, right? And then the other part of your question was economic. Is that what it was?
Yes.
The economic part of it is really hard and really important. How can I tell a single mom or a single dad who's already working 2 jobs, who is picking up the kids from school, who's doing all these things, running around, helping homework, to make a home cooked meal at home? So what is our go-to? McDonald's.
Eating out.
Chick-fil-A. Fast food. The Tacos at the Laredo Company. All these kind of things that we know, right? The Q Taco. Oh my God. It's inexpensive food, high in fats, high in carbs. Not necessarily the best, but that's what suits the need at the moment. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I understand it. Not everybody can meal prep. There's so much going on in the world. And we have to try to be a little bit better and understand that people are struggling financially, economically, to stretch that dollar to cover the family of 5 or 6 or 3 or 2. Regardless, it's a financial type deal.
Yeah, especially now with inflation.
Right.
And now that the eggs are worth the value of gold.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah, and then we start. I know people are going to hate me for saying this, but it's okay. You can hate me. We have this whole deal where now we're talking organic.
Oh,
organic
my gosh.
and buy organic. So I already have $5 to do my vegetable shopping, right? I'm just throwing out a number out there. And I see the price of a zucchini who's 99 cents for a pound regular. And then I see a zucchini that's $1.89 a pound. And I've been told to eat organic.
Yeah.
Do you think I'm going to spend my $5 on organic? I'm just going to say, you know what? Obviously both are bad. I can't afford the good one. I can't afford the bad one. I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
It's really...
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. So really, what does organic mean? It just means it hasn't has pesticides in it, right? It wasn't sprayed. the other zucchini, all you have to do is rinse it off. Just rinse it off. It's fine. We can still have it.
And so I feel like that set of information is really important. The difference between organic and non-organic, the difference is very slim to none.
Right. And we send this confusing message to our population that this is what you have to have. And if they can't afford it, then they feel bad because they're not taking care of their children. Oh my God, I'm a bad parent because I don't buy organic. Well, no, not necessarily.
Just wash the cucumber.
Just wash the cucumber, right? And I'm 54, so I say this, really just ignore me for it. But, I tell my friends, I was playing in the crop dusters in the fields when the crop dusters were just spraying. So, you know what? I am a walking pesticide. It's just like...
And I'm just fine.
Yeah, I'm just fine. I was running in the fields, playing, and the crop duster was spraying.
And I just washed it off.
Yeah, I just washed it off. Look at me. I'm just a little dark, but it's okay.
Okay, well, since we're talking about the economic factors, how does food access impact diabetes?
Food access is it. The way it impacts diabetes is going to be on the way the person prepares the food, the way that and which foods they have access to. I think is what's key. So depending on the food bank, and I help package the food bags at our pantry, right? Usually you get rice, lentils, an assortment of beans, a lot of pastas, which are carbs, which turn into glucose, which turn into heart. Yeah. So if you're having problems with access to food, you're getting the dry staples, some wet staples, but you're not getting the fruits and vegetables that you necessarily need all the time. And I think that's what's really hard.
Okay.
Because sometimes we want to focus on also the fruits and vegetables. And I will say, watermelon and mangoes and those are what our culture really loves, right?
Yeah.
But those are so high in sugar.
Yeah.
So we need to look at the strawberries and the blueberries and the blackberries and the raspberries, but they're also kind of pricey too.
Yeah.
So so what are we going to do? We're going to go to the grapes. We're going to go to the bananas. We're going to go to the oranges and the stuff that are high in sugar. So food access has a lot to do with how we manage our diets as well.
Okay. And food access, at least here in the Rio Grande Valley, like what is your
take on it?
Yeah.
I think right now, because of inflation, because of the cost of food, people are actually going to the food banks for more help. And they're taking advantage of all the food banks, and it's hard because a lot of people don't understand how to cook with certain foods.
Okay.
So you go to the food bank, and you're going to get red lentils, yellow lentils, and then regular lentils.
And those are not necessarily part of the culture.
The culture here,
of the food culture,
right?
Because the only beans, are pinto beans. So or maybe black beans.
A lot.
Well, lentejas is lentils.
Yeah.
So it's good, right? Which is really good. But it's not part of the culture. We don't know how to cook with them. Yeah. And it's kind of a problem. So what we've done is we have some recipes on our website that people can go and download. One of the other things is black beans. That's a staple also in the food pantry that you get. You like black beans?
Yes,
I only like them refried.
Well, I like them. Yeah, when they're mashed
with
up.
cheese.
Yeah,
Those are good.
I like them next to my chilaquiles.
There you go. So black beans are actually really healthy. They have a lot of protein and they're great. But again, it goes back to your point. Cooking with the foods that we're provided, and do we know how to do it, or do we just put it around? And it's funny because one of my neighbors goes to the food bank and we held back the foods, and next she goes, "Hey, I brought you some food." I'm like, "This is stuff we just gave you." She goes, "I don't know how to cook with it.
Oh.
I don't know how to do. Make a chili stew with the beans." You know what I mean? It's this thing. If we don't know it, we're afraid of it.
Oh, okay.
We don't utilize it because it's not something we're accustomed to.
Right.
So then, I know you brought some information with you. What are the for the Rio Grande Valley? Because I know you don't have a lot of information for Starr County itself, but for the Rio Grande Valley, what are the diabetes rates?
Sure. So a couple things in the Rio Grande Valley. We are known for certain things already, and everyone knows that we're known for the most obese. But did you also know that we're known for the most diabetic patients throughout the state of Texas and through the United States?
Oh, gosh.
So in the Rio Grande Valley, as of 2023, 31.5% are diabetic. In the nation, in the U.S., it's 12.5%. Wait, is that right? I can't. My contact is blurry. 11.5. No. What do you have on yours? Can you see it? You're going to have to edit that one.
Oh, that's okay. Well,
It's the yellow one?
the yellow is U.S.?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so yes. The U.S., it's 11.5 in 2023.
Uh-huh.
And which one is the RGV?
The RGB is at 31.
Yes, 31.5.
And then the line below, next to the Texas, is Texas, and that's at?
Texas is the light blue.
Mhm.
It's 13.9.
Right, 13.9.
So double.
Double. We are bad. We're bad here. Not only are we the most obese, the most diabetic, but now we're getting known for the most amputations. Foot amputations.
Oh, that.
Okay.
Yes, it's very prevalent with people who have
Yes.
diabetes. I come from a very diabetic prone family,
Yeah.
and I've several of my family members have had that due to the uncontrolled diabetes.
And it's really saddening because what happens after you lose? Well, we go back to our culture. We're very prideful people. We're very independent people, right? And if it's mom or dad or grandma or grandpa and they're very active, once they've lost a foot, they feel like their life is just, I'm a burden. They become depressed. Depression and stress also play a factor in glucose levels and how it becomes uncontrolled and unmanaged. And at that point, what are you going to do? Well, they already took off my foot. Just let me have the rest of the cake.
Yeah.
Let me eat whatever I want.
Yeah.
True.
And we play along with it instead of saying, no, mom, no, dad, we're going to monitor and we're going to do this.
Yeah.
So then it starts off with the foot and then what? It goes to your maybe blindness. But most concerning is you have heart disease, but look at your kidneys. And then we have to put you on dialysis.
Yeah.
And you do three days of dialysis a week. You're there like several hours. That's just already hard on the body.
Yeah.
And we don't think about that. We just think diabetes, we think sugar in the blood, but it's just really tearing us apart.
That's really concerning because, I mean, at first we think of it as just like an extra loaf of bread, an extra pan dulce, but really it can lead to a whole different life. You know, your quality of life slowly diminishing over time until you don't have any independence.
Right.
If you can't see, you know, you don't have a limb. Can you just imagine? I mean,
and your teeth become loose, and you have all these other dental problems: the vision, the dental, the dexterity. You start losing your other problems within your feelings, and then also your kidneys, and then your heart. Now it just starts snowballing, right? And it's hard to get out of that. It's hard to change people too. It's part of who we are, especially if you have a strong male dominant or a grandma or grandpa that are real strong and dominant, and that they've always said, this is the way it is, yo mando, olvídate. You're not going to change them. No one wants to fight them, right?
Yeah.
It's hard.
I fight. I'm always the person to give backlash in my family. But I will say that I can attest to a lot of what you're saying. I see it in some of my family dynamics, but I like to push back in little ways. So, for example, my mom, she's active at home, but sometimes I want her to take extra steps. So I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go for a walk. Go with me.
Yeah.
Like I don't really take no for an answer. I'm just like, go with me.
Yeah.
Or I like to cook a lot of like grilled chicken and salads and things like that. And so like I told her yesterday, I was like, well, I had a lot of tortilla this week, so I don't want to eat. Like, I know it's Sunday, comfort food, but I was like, I want a salad. I want something fresh, something light. So I'm like, hey, so I try to kind of just little things that they can get accustomed to, where it becomes like a weekly thing, and it doesn't feel like it's being well, sometimes, yeah, it's a little bit forced, but where it's starting to feel a little bit more normal.
Right.
So I try to do that just because there is a lot of diabetes in my family. I am very concerned and for myself. And so and I want to prolong the quality and length of my mother's life and my family. So
Yeah,
I'm
and
trying to do
I
it.
think you're doing a great thing by encouraging them to come with you, right? We always think about, the other dreadful word that we talk about is exercise. And we always think that we have to go and lift weights and run 10,000 miles to be exercising. But really, it's about maybe just cutting the yard, working in your garden, keeping yourself active for 30 minutes a day does wonders for the body.
I've seen that. I hear that 5 times a week for 30 minutes a day. And you don't even have to be, on a treadmill or the park. You could be in your backyard.
Right. So we just doing little things like that is really great. Now, the other part of it is we've been watching Netflix's The Blue Zones. It's a purpose-driven. I don't know if you all seen the purpose-driven life.
No, I haven't seen that one.
There's a couple things. This gentleman did a whole study about other nations who have people who live to be over 100.
Oh.
And one of the things they did was that they learned they eat different foods. They're very lean. They walk a lot. Yes. And they do everything together. So it's a family event or a community event, right? They're neighbors. All the neighbors go walking together. All the neighbors eat together. All the neighbors have a purpose in life to do something, keeping them busy. And I think that's something that we here in our culture, when we think of retiring, we think, just stay home and relax. But actually, that's a bad thing. Yeah. No, enjoy retirement, but be active still in retirement. Because then you start seeing the downfall, you start seeing them, the healthcare, their health decline. But keeping them active and with a purpose is something that we need to go ahead and focus on.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. I see you looking at the children's diabetes rate.
I wanted to touch back on the risk for children.
Right.
And,
so,
because right now we're talking about our older family members, but I wanted to talk about what we can do for
So Region 1 is mandated by the state to go ahead and collect or test out the children in grades 1st through 7th grade. And it's for acanthosis nigrans. And acanthosis nigrans are the dark markings behind their neck, their cheek, their knuckles, their armpit, and their groin of children. And it's alarming for the Rio Grande Valley or for the Region 1 area, which also covers all the way up to Webb County, all the way down to Cameron County. So it's pretty widespread. So 2 out of 25 children already have the symptoms for the acanthosis nigrans, which is it's your body's telling you, hey, something's wrong. It's your body's building that insulin resistance. So your body's giving you your signals, right? So when your car check light engine goes on, you go check it. But why don't we do that for our kids? Yeah. We need to do that for our bodies are telling us something's wrong.
It's like the car check light is on.
Yeah.
Junior over there, so let's let's go get him checked out.
Exactly. So when we have that for our children, we need to go ahead and check it out. We have 89% of the children that were tested are obese already. These are kids between grades 1 and 7th, or what ages?
6 through 13.
Yeah, 6 to 13. 89% of them are obese. The other concerning part of it is that 38% are hypertensive. And when I say that to the parents and I'm doing the education, they're like, they're going to have a heart attack. I said, well, maybe, but can you imagine what the blood pressure is doing to their kidneys as well?
Yeah, because blood pressure affects your vision, affects your organs. And everything, not just
your heart.
Yeah, it's not only the heart, it's the whole.
But people assume high blood pressure, heart. But no, it's affecting our bodies. And I always tell parents, think about the kidneys. We don't want to have a young child in dialysis, right? But we need to start making changes. We need to reduce screen time. And by that, I mean, take away the cell phone, take away the tablet, turn off the TV. If you're going to go walking, invite the child to go walking. And again, it's creating those healthy habits about being active in the community, being active at home. If I was to tell my dad I'm bored, he's like, there's work to be done in the yard.
Yes. Yes. I'm 51 and I come from that generation. It
yeah.
was like, oh, you're bored? Okay, here.
Yeah.
And it was just like, no. I work real quick. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not bored.
Yeah, I'm not bored after all. You know what? There's a book I have to read. or
Yeah,
something.
there's something I have to paint or draw or something. I don't know. Just-
Right. But, we have to, and we have, I hate to say this, but we have this mentality right now where it's, we give our kids everything we didn't have growing up, and we sort of created ourselves into a little problem, into a little hole. Where now we we manage them with baby gloves on, and by that I mean we're very delicate with them, and at the same time we've created a problem. We have an obesity problem, and it's not getting any better. And when you start recommending, and as I mentioned, I'm a bariatric patient, 17 years post-op. The American Pediatrics Association is recommending bariatric surgery for these children who are obese. I'm 54. I struggle every day with what I eat. Do you think a 12-year-old and their parent know the structure that's going to happen if a child gets a bariatric surgery?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Yeah, my breakfast is a handful of vitamins every day.
Yeah, because what you eat is like
Minimal.
not even what is it, a spoonful or something?
Yeah, it's tiny. It's a little bit.
Like,
That's a very harsh procedure for a body that's still developing.
yes.
So, as a parent, you'd rather put your child in, let's work out together, let's exercise, let's eat better foods and all this stuff, because that child is still developing. And most of all, and most importantly, I think they're gonna feel like they were left out of certain things in life. I didn't have a full childhood because I couldn't eat. And everywhere you go, when I go out to you with people who've never eaten with me before, I go, I'm going to order a big plate, but I'm going to feed it. I'm going to finish it. Don't feel bad. Because you feel bad when someone's not eating. So can you imagine a child, you go to a birthday party and you can't eat because you're on a restricted diet?
It's terrible.
It's terrible. It's not good.
Yeah.
So we need to look at things differently. And I know that we're taking a little turn on children, but that's what's going to happen if we don't manage it.
Yeah.
Do a little bit better job with that.
I'm concerned going back to our future generations. And I'm saying this from personal experience and from what I've seen. Here in the South Texas region, sometimes some parents will do the good thing of putting their kids in a lot of extracurricular activities that are physical, a lot of sports. This is great. They don't have to necessarily be there. They just have to take them to their activities, and they have someone who leads the sport, the initiative. But I see a lot as well that in these sports, like let's say your child goes to a weekend off of competitions, the nutrition that is fed to these children to input into their bodies, it's just like Whataburger 3 times a day.
Yeah. So,
I'm concerned because I've had those experiences where it was 3 to 4 days of competition, and it was Whataburger, Chick-fil-A, like French fries, like deep food. And did I enjoy it? Yeah, in the moment I was like, hey, this is nice. Thank you for the recompensation. But after months of eating that every weekend, I'm telling you, my body did not feel good. I was low energy. My stomach didn't take it anymore. Like I was like throwing up and like once a week during practice. So it was just terrible.
Yep. I hear you completely. And my nephews did baseball. They did all these sports, exactly like how you're mentioning, and their carb intake was high. And I would tell them, I go, dude, when you stop going to school and you're not in these activities, you can't eat like this anymore. Because you're going to become obese, you're going to become fat, and right away, you have the athletic look, right? The athletic physique, and it's hard to maintain. But he says, but I'm doing real good right now. I go, yeah, because you're burning it off every day. You're working and practicing and stuff. But when you go into the real world and you don't have someone to tell you to go to practice, and you have to do it on your own, it's going to be hard. But going back to your point as well, having all that food unhealthy will cause you to feel the way you were feeling, sluggish. It brings you down and stuff. It's not healthy. It's just not healthy.
So what could I don't know, maybe schools or I don't know, like, what can be done about that? Because I feel that maybe in the moment it's not apparent, but isn't it kind of, what would you say, a contradiction that we're asking them to stay active, but then we're feeding them all
Yeah.
this trash?
Yeah, and it goes back to this whole deal, right? And we've had this problem too, like schools want to have healthier foods, but yet they have soda machines at every corner in the school district.
Mhm.
And they have the they have other junk foods as well in the vending machines. So are we here to keep our children healthy and safe, or are we here to make a buck? Because somebody's making a money off of those vending machines for being there. We did a study. Well, somebody has already done a study, but we talked to this organization who puts in healthy vending machines with healthy snacks and healthy drinks and all that stuff. And they were trying to swap out all the machines out, the Coke machines or soft drink machines. And they found out that at this one university, not here in the Valley, in Houston, they would not allow them to swap out their vending machines, even though the students wanted healthier foods. It was because the organization was paying for the car for the president of the university.
Oh.
So, it's that kind of deal, right? That kind of happens. So we have tried to change some stuff and some organizations here. The employees rebelled. They do want their Snickers. They do want their Hershey bars. So the schools are doing their best. The other thing I have a problem with this at the school districts level is all the fundraisers they do all have to do with cookie dough, candies, and junk food. And on top of that, then you have and really I feel for the teachers and the educators, because I think I don't know what I'm not an educator and I don't work in that system, but when they're selling also junk food to buy supplies, it's kind of like we're not helping the system. We're making things worse. But then you have the other side of the coin, where it says, "Hey, my kids are healthy; they should be able to eat that." But not all of them are.
Yeah.
And if you're Moses, if you have a quarter, you're gonna buy that Cheetos.
It's not funny.
I'm sorry. And it's like, yes, you can eat it. You just don't eat it all the time,
Exactly.
and that's when it becomes a problem, because nobody is monitoring it.
No one is
And then for kids, like, you're a kid, you're not monitoring yourself.
You're
You know
not.
what I
You're
mean?
having
Like,
fun.
you're having fun. You're thinking about other stuff. You're not
Yeah.
thinking like, oh, if I eat 3 Snickers, I'm going to be like, oh, this isn't healthy for me.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, 3 Snickers.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I was all like,
You're not gonna think I just had an intake of like 43 grams of sugar. Like,
Yeah,
that's
so-
their concern.
maybe I shouldn't have later, and I'll just do without carbs for the rest of the week. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're not thinking about
Nothing
that.
and then I don't, I saw when I drove in, I used to come to Rio Grande City a lot, working with another organization. And as I was driving in, like, y'all have a Starbucks now, like, yay.
Yes.
And I don't know if this is here, if it happens here as it happens in Westlake. Do you only have one Starbucks? Or do
We
you-
only have one Starbucks, but we have a Dutch Bros.
Okay, Dutch
And then
Bros.
we have a Twisted Sister.
Okay.
And so far, that's it.
All right. So let's talk about status at the high school level, at the school levels with kids.
Oh,
Status?
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Wait, what kind of status? What do you mean?
Every Friday, if I go to the sit at the Starbucks in Wesco,
Uh-huh.
all the little kids, all of them are getting their pink drinks, their flavored, to go to school with their Starbucks.
Yeah.
It's a status thing.
I've
I
heard,
got
I
Starbucks.
heard, I heard stories
Yes.
when the Starbucks opened here. I heard stories that some kids were showing up to school
Their
with their
Starbucks
cup,
cup.
with their Starbucks.
Their pinkety drinkety.
I was just like,
Yeah.
and I was just like, what?
Yeah.
Gosh.
So again, the amount of sugar in the
Mhm.
drinks, and that's not just Starbucks, right? It's the Dutch Bros. It's everybody
Yeah.
else, right?
Mhm.
There's
McDonald's has their
everybody has their
coffees.
version.
Yeah, the
Whataburger has theirs
All
too.
the fraps.
Jack in the Box.
Yeah.
Everybody's Dairy Queen. Everybody's serving some
Yeah.
sort of.
And it's horrible because in one drink you already had your sugar for the day. You already sugar
For the week.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm guilty because I drink the black tea lemonade with 4 Splendas, and I couldn't realize why my sugar spikes were so high. Well, later on I find out that the lemonade has sugar in it. Because I couldn't figure out why was spiking my sugars. Why was my sugar spiking? I don't do anything but tea. And then I asked the manager, does your lemonade have sugar? And he goes, yeah. Like, no, not good.
Problem solved.
Yeah. I'm sabotaging myself. I'm trying to be in a sugar detox, and here I am. Like at Starbucks. Yeah. But I'm guilty of that. So we have that problem. And then you have the grandma problem. And here we go with the grandma problem. Two things about grandmas. One, if you go to grandma's house and she cooked for you,
you eat it.
You eat it even if you already ate.
Yes.
Grandma's didn't feel bad that she was making tortillas for you and she made fideo and papas and carnita molida and all that stuff. And you're like, but grandma already ate it. No, you can eat it again. The other thing is, Grandma, I don't like the food at the cafeteria today. So here we go to Chick-fil-A. Here we go to Whataburger. Here we go to Pizza Hut. And instead of saying no, it's okay. Eat what you have. You're not gonna die. You're not gonna starve. You know,
there's food at home.
There's food at home. There's food at home. Yeah, and this is the problem with my mom because I told Mom, remember when we were growing up? You said we'll get home and make you some food. Do the same thing with a grandkid. Oh no, pobrecitos, not them. Yeah, not them.
Not them.
Yeah, I remember asking my dad for a Whataburger when we were growing up. He said, no, get home and my mom's making me a burger. I'm traumatized. I have food traumas. I'm traumatized. Yeah. So again, it's changing the mentality, right? And not an everyday thing, but if it becomes an everyday thing, I think we have a bigger problem, right? I think we have to look at that too.
I have a question here, and I don't know, because we're talking about changing mentalities so how can people and businesses support the Unidos Contra La Diabetes mission?
Sure. So one of the things that we would really love to see is organizations removing sugary beverages and sugary fruits from their meetings. You can't imagine how many meetings I go to, and there's soft drinks instead of water.
Oh.
There's
guilty.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
There's cookies and there's different stuff. But why don't you if you're going to have the cookies, then you're like, I need to have cookies and have some fruit too, and have some vegetables too. And the other thing that we're really tired of seeing and we really need help with is every time you go to a health fair, you're getting A1C checks, blood pressure checks, BMI, you name it, and they're giving away candy. Are we in the business of keeping people sick, or are we in the business of keeping people healthy? And when I asked that question, one person gave me the right answer, and the answer is both.
Yeah.
We want to keep people sick and healthy. We never want to keep you one or the other, right?
Yeah.
So let's remove all the sugary drinks and salty stuff too. It's not just the sugar stuff; it's the salty stuff too. Because they're doing blood pressure checks. Don't give me a bag of Cheetos and hot fries. It's not gonna help me. I have high blood pressure already. You're killing me off here in a low sodium intake diet. So that's the type of stuff we can help us with, and then of course just advocating that, bring awareness, that be mindful that, and again, it's one of those things where we tell people it's okay to reward yourself and it's okay to reward people, but it doesn't have to be an everyday thing. And I know I'm going to get slack from people because I'm the most greediest, selfish person when it comes to my birthday cake. I'm going to give everybody a tiny slice, but I'm going to get the big cake for myself. But maybe we need to do the little mini cupcakes. And if we do have a birthday, let's do the monthly birthday, not an it's your birthday today, here's a cake. It's your birthday tomorrow, here's another cake.
Oh, okay.
Just change it around. Change it around. Yeah, that's what I think we can all work together to just bring awareness and be more conscious that we have a problem in the Rio Grande Valley, and we want people to live longer. We want people to be healthy, and when you have a productive workforce, it becomes a little bit better for everybody.
Yeah, I guess, a way maybe for businesses to feel the need and desire to implement healthier practices into our meetings, into our celebrations. I guess it would be like, if you want a strong workforce, we have to, the fuel that goes into it has to be the proper fueling.
Exactly. And, when we look at a healthier workforce, we also look at missed production days of absences. And you know what? Let me advocate for one more thing before we go on to other stuff where we end this. Is I want to advocate for people to use their health insurance. It's you don't know how many times I hear men and women say, I can't go to the doctor because I'm working. Well, you know what? You have sick days. You have vacation days. Take your sick time to go to the doctor, because you know what? If you never got diagnosed, and you lose your job, and now you have no insurance, and now you're sick, but you never knew, shame on you, because you didn't take the time to take care of yourself, and you're probably the breadwinner of your family. And I talked to gentlemen who are retired. I said, well, they're like in their 70s and they're back in the workforce. I go, why are you working again? Oh, I have diabetes. No, I have cancer. But why didn't you go to the doctor before? I was always working. Advocate for yourself. Take advantage of the health insurance that you have. If your employer is paying for it, even, take better for you, right? But it doesn't. It's not going to hurt you. They're going to miss you at work, but guess what? The work will still be there.
When you come back.
When you come back, the work is still going to be there. Just take advantage of it and get checked. We don't, we just interviewed a gentleman the other day, and he made a change in his life. He didn't realize he was sick.
Okay.
He was 385 pounds. He was healthy. He thought he was healthy. He was doing everything was great. He didn't have health insurance, so he never went to the doctor. Once he got insurance, he did go to the doctor, and guess what? He had diabetes. He was uncontrolled. And then he made a drastic change in his life, and now he's lost 200 pounds.
Wow.
He's half of what he was, basically. But again, it's taking advantage of the benefits that we have.
So out of everything that we've been talking about, what advice would you give someone who wants to take action in their own health journey, like their own health care?
Yeah. So you know what? It's not easy. It's going to be hard, but you can do it. And make sure that you tell your loved ones to support you. As I mentioned, I'm a bariatric patient, and it was really hard for me because I could not eat menudo, pizza, and all these things. And my sister, who lived with me, would bring pizza every time and Whataburger.
Oh, no.
So I was like, we're going to have to make a change here. Either you leave or I leave, right? So, it's not going to work out here. So again, be conscious of the effort that someone is making to improve their health. So if someone's trying to eat healthier, let us all eat healthier around that person. Let's be supportive of them. And I know that we're such a bully culture.
Yes,
We are a bully culture. We hate and I'm the great saboteur. I'd like to sabotage everybody in their diets and stuff. But I think it's one of those things where we have to be more supportive and understand that they're going through a struggle.
I have a question to attach to that. If, given our culture and the way that things are structured here in the Rio Grande Valley, if we are not receiving that support that we need or that we're looking for in a family dynamic, where would you advise for someone to go and seek that support that they need to begin their diabetes prevention journey, or just a journey to look after their health overall?
Sure. Go to your community resource centers. Go to your Nuestra Clínica del Valle. I think that's one of the FQACs that's here in Nuestra Clínica. Go to your Aguilera groups. They would have the resources for you. Go to some of your nonprofits that provide those services. Maybe, and I would hate to say that we have a mental stigma, because we do have a mental stigma in the Rio Grande Valley. All Latinos, I think, have a mental stigma. If we ask for counseling for mental well-being, no estoy loco, and we don't want to attach that.
Yeah.
But guess what? We need to take a page of our white brothers and sisters. They seek help. Why can't we? And no one looks at it twice. I think there's some groups that we can create, some support groups. And we haven't had the best luck with support groups because we're very proud people. We don't want to air out our dirty laundry. We've been raised not to air our dirty laundry. But guess what? We all have food challenges. We all have these challenges about how we're going to survive together. But yeah, your community resource centers, your Clínica del Valle, your Aguilera groups, all those community resource centers that are out there can help you. And a lot of them do have groups that are meant to help you that way.
Okay.
And support you.
Thank you. Thank you for that information.
Yeah,
Thank
great question.
you so much.
Yeah.
What is
So I brought a couple things with me so y'all could just check out. We've been asking people to help us to do a self-risk assessment for diabetes. There's on our website. And then we also have a children's risk assessment because we want to know what the risks are for children for diabetes are in the Rio Grande Valley. So these can be downloaded at our website. We are having a health fair on Diabetes Alert Day, March 25th at Colonias Unidas.
And where will that be?
Here in Rio Grande City, in Colonias Unidas. Don't know the exact address for Colonias Unidas. I think it's...
So you can find this information at ucdrgv.org.
Correct. I did such a great job that I put it on my calendar, but I didn't put an address to Colonias Unidas. But Colonias Unidas is here in Rio Grande City. It's housed. And we're having a health fair. We're having A1Cs. We're having all these great other benefits for you can do your health screenings. And one thing that we'll say to your listeners is please, 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 if you don't have time to go to a doctor's office, stop at a health fair. Get the free screenings. It's free. No one's charging you. Somebody already paid for you just to go get screened.
Yeah, we did have one. We just last week had a job fair. So we had border region. They provided free health screening. So they were doing the blood pressure and the sugar and all that. So.
Yeah, it's great to take advantage of that. Maybe you had insurance at one time and you could get all these tests at your doctor, and now you don't have insurance. We'll stop by and get it for free. And we recommend your A1C to get checked every 3 months or every 90 days, whatever it is for you, because it can change. Maybe you're working out, you're eating healthier. You don't know if your A1C has changed. Come by and check it out. It's going to be a benefit for free, and it doesn't hurt. The eye screenings, the foot. We're going to have UTRGV doing foot screenings as well for amputations and checking out. So I think it's really, really great. Because one of the things that I'm sorry, I only look at my feet when I put my socks on. Is that a fair statement? I mean, I'm not there like, oh, my feet. I work more with my hands. Yeah. But again, so foot screenings are important, and so we're trying to get as many screens available. But yeah, just stop by it, and if you don't make it to ours, and there's another one going on, stop by and get something screened for free. It's somebody already paid for it, so you can be there. Take advantage of that.
That's great. I mean, just having these resources in our surroundings, if the community chooses to take advantage of them, could make a great impact to take care of a current diabetes diagnosis or prevent it.
Prevent it, and just stay on the right path, right? Maybe your A1C is at a 5.7 and you're pre-diabetic, and you can reverse it. Diabetes can be reversed so long as you're exercising, so long as you're eating healthier and making minor modifications to your current way of living. It doesn't have to be that strenuous thing, right? That, oh my God, I have to stop eating this. No, it's just little changes to make big efforts at the long run. I think that's a big thing. I know that you're also going through our stuff. We do have an initiative. We do have a Life is True Enough campaign. We do it with schools and we do it with workplaces. So if a workplace would like to start an initiative about having their employees healthier.
Oh, okay.
The good thing about our Life is True Enough campaign is we provide decals because everybody already has their. We used to give out water bottles. Refillable water bottles, but now everybody has their Stanleys, their Yetis, and whatnot. So we give out them cute little decals, and we have a mascot. His name is Hydro.
Okay.
Hydro can come out to the schools and to workplaces if Hydro is available. But the workplace initiative is Life is True Enough. We want you to drink less sugary beverages. You monitor it every month, and every quarter you get prizes. And the fun thing is that the employer isn't doing anything except making sure the employees are drinking water, reporting monthly, because UCD is able to supply them with the prizes.
Okay.
So it could be a T-shirt, it could be a backpack, it depends on how many points you get.
So this is no cost to the business.
No cost to the business at all whatsoever.
Okay.
We try to get as many people involved, and there is no limit as far as that we have right now is how big of an employer or how small of an employer.
Okay.
Because we want everybody to take advantage of it and say, because we understand that there's a burden on employers, right? They don't have, they can try to go ahead and do the pizza parties as an incentive, but let's keep people healthier. And UCD has that ability to do that for you all because we have the
Okay.
funding for that. So yeah.
Okay. Okay, that's
Yeah,
good
it's
to
cool.
know.
It's good to know.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things going on. We have a little video for kids. They can go on the website, scan the QR code, and talk a little bit about diabetes and what the pancreas does. And it's just we try to be really well-rounded. We also we have Loteria game that we created for the kids, but guess
that's
what? The older adults love it more. That inner child in us wants to play Loteria too. The fun thing is too that we provide the prizes as well.
Mhm.
We understand that some organizations don't have the funding for that, but we provide the prizes, and we try to make sure that all our prizes have a usefulness to it. So yeah, you might get a pencil because you're a student and you need a pencil, right? But maybe you need a measuring cup, maybe you need measuring spoons or something that you can use in the community, right? We try to be very mindful. A lot of people don't know that there's, and I hate to say this, it took me a long time to learn it. You have measuring cups for water or liquids, and you have measuring cups for dry ingredients, right? So 1 cup of this is not 1 cup of that, and sometimes you're like, why did my cake batter turn out so weird or whatever? Because they don't know about the measuring stuff.
Yeah.
So it's one of we try to make useful, make sure everybody knows what we're doing and what we're not. Things that they can use at the home. For themselves
Great.
too.
So all these prizes are things that contribute and make it easier for us to stay on track with our health journey, our health initiatives.
Yeah, we try to make it fun for everybody. We want people to have fun with what they do. And then we have this little thing like comida buenas. What is it? La buena comida es
la mejor medicina.
Right.
Oh.
Because we hear that a lot from our older generation. Eating healthier is better. So we have little magnets. Then we have, if you know of a restaurant that has healthy options, we have this little initiative.
Oh, okay.
That we want
healthy lifestyle.
Yeah, we want to put the little decal outside their door if they let us. But the only way we can know about it is that the community let us know, hey, we do this. So you'd never be surprised, but we have a taqueria who has a sticker on there.
Oh.
And you're like, why would a taqueria have a sticker? Well, because the people come in and say, no quiero los tacos con grasa.
Okay.
Tostados, no más.
Yeah, más tostados. They've already made that choice. The food is good. Let's just make that healthy option. No flour. I want corn and all that stuff. So, as long as you have options, you provide the options, we want to know that you're out there. So we have a lot of those things that we want. But we need the community's help. We need y'all's help to help us with that stuff. To make that impact and make that systems change. And we really do appreciate everybody in the community for helping us out.
Wonderful. That's awesome. So everybody that's listening, if you want to make some changes to your health, go ahead and visit ucdrgv.org and reach out, and they'll be able to help you.
Yeah, we'll help you out. We're just a phone call away.
Yes, that's exciting. I mean, I'm really happy to know and just be informed on all of this information. I come from a family of diabetes disposition, so I'm always concerned about what my health choices may what consequences it may have later on down the road, or what benefits. So I think just having this information at our disposition, the help from Unidos Contra La Diabetes, is just really great for our community.
Yep. The more informed we are, the better we can do. Awesome.
Okay, that is so awesome. Thank you, Moses, for coming over and visiting us here in Rio Grande City. Thank you to our listeners, and we will see you next time.
Have a great one.
Bye. This broadcast is brought to you by the City of Rio Grande City and the Rio Grande City EDC. If you would like to know more about certain topics pertaining to the municipality or have an idea for an upcoming podcast, email mgomez@rgc-tv.com or vdeanda@cityofrgc.com. Links are in the show notes.
RGC Podcast.